Give me a name for it.
Money.
I like it. Now, do you know that if you have a class declared as money, the file name has to be money.java?
Right.
You know that, right?
Right.
Good. Okay. This is like when you go to pray. You know for a fact that you will have to close your eyes and maybe do some bend or something. The first thing after you have a class.
Man.
Just like when you want to eat, you know you will have to wash your hands. That's what it is here. Every time you have a program, you have to have at least one class and exactly one main function, main method.
So this is when programming? Is this when you're doing programming?
Yes.
Yeah. Straight job.
Does any of you actually get to understand why do we always have to do this?
String bracket R.
What is this?
That's it. The main program.
Yes, but what is this? I mean, string this and this. What does it tell you about args?
Parameter.
Argument.
What does it tell you about
Something
args?
about arguments. I don't remember.
Except all. Except all.
No, nothing to do with main. This structure here. What does it tell you about args?
We don't know. We just know the
It's an array.
So,
It's an array of string elements.
Okay, so if it was a bracket, it'd be an array of methods.
it's always brackets.
There's always a bracket, right?
That's what I said, right? It's an array.
So naturally, every
What does
code
it
you
tell you
write
about
includes
names?
an array.
Names array.
It's an array of string values or string data. And that array is called name.
So all your
The
arguments
same
are going
things.
to be an array of strings.
Exactly. This will be an array of some string data. Now those data in the array, we use them to do some of the things. Let's say if you call my program and you give it an argument like -v, it will not do some things. Let's say I have so many things that I write on, but if you call it with -v from the command line, when you pass in -v, my program, instead of maybe displaying some greetings, it would actually not do it, it would do something else.
Right.
And the way you pass some parameters to the program, not the function, not the method, but to the program. Let's say you have a computer. You go to the command line. You're like, Java, do you know how to run a program from the command line? I mean, run a Java program for the command line.
Which is
No, just within
The
Java
IDE.
or
Oh,
JGraphs.
they should have showed you that, because I guess it's part of
is that
part of it.
is that like that black screen with
Yes, in the command line, yes.
prompt, yeah.
yeah?
Well, the way you do that
Went
is
over that briefly.
you have to compile the program, and you compile the program using Java, and then you give the name of the file. Then for you to run it, you say Java, and then the name of your file.
Pretty much like
Then
that.
you run it.
Okay.
Now, if I had to use this, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to run the program, I'm trying to pass it this parameter. As I start the program, I want to give it this parameter. Now, that -v will go in here. It will be actually the first element in this
So
array.
that'd be 0.
It's going to be -v
-v,
or v.
that's before 0.
Hmm?
-v is before 0 in the array.
What's 0?
You start an array at 0, 1, 2, 3.
Position.
this is a string
Position.
array.
Position 0. That's
Position.
what it means.
Oh, position 0. Okay. At position 0, it's going to be v. And then I can actually have some more. I can have so many things there. Now, it's going to be at position 0, I have v position 1, I have r position. I can actually check that in my string array. Now, at start up, when I'm starting my program, I can configure this program to behave differently depending on how you called it. This is used really often. There's something that you might know later if you go into computer science. We call it COM. What it does is this. Every time you have, let's say, a Word file in your computer, you double click on it. It opens up Microsoft Word with your document. What really happens is that when you go to find a file, you open a program that is called Explorer. In Microsoft, it's a program that's called Explorer. When you go to my documents, and then it shows you all that. Yes, come on in.
Started?
No, we had a computer science workshop today. Typical computer science
That's
workshop.
Gideon, this is Mike.
Oh, nice to meet you, Mike. Alright, so I'm in the middle of this. You just have a seat, all right?
Yeah.
Close the door, Mike.
Exactly. So, in COM, or take a seat. When you go to your computer, you're trying to open that Word file. Let's say it's called homework. What?
DOC.
DOC or DOCX or something, right? Now, every time you double click on this, it actually brings up Microsoft Word with your documents open in it. Now, what really happens beyond the scene is this technology that we call COM or COM. Now, as I mentioned, when you go to your document, you open up document and you're trying to find the file. The program that shows you those files is called Explorer. What Explorer does is this. It takes the name here, this name, homework.doc. It runs, well, let's say this is a command. This is not a command, but I'm just trying to show you. It runs Microsoft Word. Let's say in your computer, Microsoft Word is actually named as Word.exe. Then it gives it a first parameter, which is homework. Dot. So now, let's imagine that this is our Microsoft Word. Now, what Microsoft Word does is that it checks if you have some argument. If you do have one, it takes the first one, it knows it's a file, and then it goes on your hard drive, find that file, and open it. So, that is why we have this syntax. It's because you can actually open this and
So the method's going to pass the same way.
exactly.
Okay.
So, but then this is not to a method, but this is to a program.
Okay, name it.
This is to a program. Let's say you run this program, and the way you want it to work is that you can call it Java, your program, and the first parameter is a text file that contains all the information that your program will need to run. Let's say a combination of names and their pays. Name, pay, and whatever. You have that in a text file. And what you want to do is that when you run your program, if somebody actually called it from a command line and gave it a file name here, it will just go and open that file and show you everything. Or do some calculations and give you some general information that you want. And if there's nothing, then it might actually do something like ask you, hey, what's the file name or something or whatever. Well, we will actually see this later, COM programming, how do programs in your computer work together, and all that kind of stuff. Another example, many of you actually here might have used Photoshop or something of that sort. Now, every time you double click on a Photoshop file, what it does is it actually goes there, the Explorer again runs Photoshop with the name of the file and opens it. Now, the programmers that actually programmed Windows, the Windows operating system, they came up with something very, very interesting. You can actually click on the file, drag it on their on the interface of your program, and it would actually open that program, right? Let's say you have Microsoft Word open. You can click on a Microsoft Word file, drag it to Microsoft Word, and it would actually open it in there. What really happens, the very same thing. It runs, when you drag it, the Explorer gets the file, the name of the file. It now looks at the pixels, your position, from the pixels that you actually manipulated. When you actually release the button, if the pixel representing your cursor position lays in the matrix of